hits happen to me? Never get my answers in here. Okay, fine. I'm doing it already. Golly. And also, as well, I'm not a vampire, FYI. I'm actually just a cat, because I know that there's going to be people that say that the sunlight should be killing me and my cape is falling off and everything, and you know what? Maybe you should just stop and... Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Caddicarus show, where I always have to do the dirty deed of deciding whether or not a game deserves to be slaughtered or salvaged. And, of course, we're still knee-deep in But I'm not talking about a game today, because I'm actually fulfilling a promise that I made in a video over 2 years ago. And trust me on this, I'll get to that movie soon enough. And I can't honestly apologize enough. There is a reason it took me nearly 2 years to get to this thing. And no, it's not because I was waiting for the month of terror or anything like that. It's because this thing is pure cataclysmic garbage that I couldn't think of the words decent enough to conjure up to describe it. So you know what, today, now since it is the month of terror, we are going to tackle Casper. So please, everybody, sit down and enjoy this, because we are going to rub down and erode like the fucking cliffs of Dover on Casper. Okay, we're jumping the gun a bit here. Here's some backstory. Casper is a ghost invented in the 1930s whose only character trait is that he's friendly, which luckily meant that Hollywood could profit off of his bland, inoffensive, and boring face. And that's all I have to say. I mean, I swear the only reason Casper is the friendly ghost is because if he wasn't, he'd be too gross and scary to sell out to the broadest demographic. Naturally, Casper appeared in an abundance of comics, stories, TV spin-offs by Hanna-Barbera, games, and eventually into movies, which honestly I figured was the only thing that Casper was best suited for in the first place. There's only so much you can do with this boring face and being friendly, and 90 minutes on the big screen with some good effects would be just the right amount of Casper for the public, I thought. And hey, what do you know, in 1995, even though I'm sure there was no demand for it after the pointless amounts of Casper and the Angel, the movie Casper was made. And what do I think of it? It's alright. Yeah, I like it. It's not the worst movie ever made. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's a decent movie, I suppose. I admire it for its set design, hammy yet soulful performances, and those effects. Not gonna lie, they're fucking awesome. But I admire it more for the fact that it had a much darker tone than any other Casper branded thing before that. It didn't try too desperately hard to appeal to everyone despite a few cringy lines and stupid swears, but it still tried to have its own identity. It had the balls to be edgier, which I can definitely respect for something as boring as, well, this boring face. And apart from a brief clue in the movie itself about how Casper died and how he became a ghost and what he was doing, you know, some of the more interesting questions to ask, 2 years later, there was a prequel movie made to clear those questions up. Direct to VHS. Where the best movies go to play. And this is what we'll be talking about today, this Halloween, so sit back, relax, and enjoy Casper: A Spirited Beginning. In all of its utter glory. I feel so sorry for you. Roll opening credits. I hate it already. So yeah, the film opens with the most dated 90s Casey and the Sunshine Band pop song rendition of the Casper theme, with a rap for just that extra spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down, which contrasts heavily to the slowest credit sequence I've ever seen in my life. It's just this, for 3 minutes. No atmosphere, no world building, no establishing shots, just floating names on a black background while you're forced to sit there and check your watch. And immediately we transition to a ghost train that's got popcorn stuck in its teeth. But actually, he was eating these things. Hey, I don't blame you. If I was in the movie, I'd hide in there too. And this is where we're introduced to our friendly Toast, and I call him Toast instead of Ghost because Toast is more boring, Casper.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening. This is not happening.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. And he literally doesn't know what's going on, where he is, or how he got there, leading him to think that he's dreaming.
Wake up, Casper. Come on, snap out of it.
Casper, calm down, man. The film's barely started yet.
What happened to me?
Yeah, scram, deadbeat. I'm in a grave mood.
Oh my god, take out the film's intro and we've only been watching this thing for 90 seconds and there was an awful pun already.
Where's this train going, lady?
The processing station. me rest in peace.
Oh, okay, my mistake. 2 awful puns in under 2 minutes. At this rate, I'm expecting another 85 puns movie. Don't fail me.
Where am I?
That's simple, Fog Boy. Too close to me.
Oh.
And that was officially the laziest excuse for a character to break free and discover his own story I have ever seen, which literally transitioned us straight to Casper in a quiet suburban American town. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's how the film is edited. No segue, no explanation. It's shit. I don't blame him. If I saw effects that bad, I'd probably scream as well. But more like, ah! And not quite like. So Casper tries to get answers here as well, but finds that everyone literally flips their shit whenever he says hello. I mean, it's not like he's being threatening or anything. Look at his face. Why is everyone going so crazy? My God, man, calm down. What is this madness? Please, everyone, remind me to come and visit this town at some point so I can go over and say hello and watch old ladies get bulldozed by young men. Boom! I must admit this is hilarious, which I hope is the point just because of how ridiculous it is. But then the film throws in a crucial plot twist only 3 minutes into the presentation.
My feet! I am the ghost!
Do I look bewildered enough? So what was this scene about? You're telling me that Casper didn't realize he had no legs? Why is this such a shock? And like a puppy with diarrhea, the film can't stand still for a second and jumps to the next scene immediately. Look, it's the nerdy kid with a loser father that focuses too much on his work and not enough on his toast. I mean, it's stereotyped to fuck, and there is Steve Guttenberg, the guy you call when Jeff Goldblum isn't available. But the chemistry between the main character Chris and Tim, the dad, isn't too bad actually. It feels natural so far. Well, except the one bit where Chris gets totally blacklisted for no reason.
I'll see you later.
Oh, don't forget! Tonight's my open house! Parents are Amanda!
And what does Tim do for a job? He's a renovation artist that nobody likes because he destroys historical landmarks, and the mayor wants him to bulldoze this
Haunted mansion.
in order to build
A brand new mini mall.
We don't need another mini-mall!
Yeah, but that shit's boring. Let's watch everyone get run over into a pulp instead.
I'm calling the sheriff.
Or, you know, watch 3 other hideous ghosts protect their motherland from the scum of the human race, and that's cool as well. Oh wait, sorry, I spoke too soon, because we have another pop song to promote, so instead let's just make a 3-minute ghost haunting scene with lots of screaming, close-ups of people with their mouths open, and more horrific jokes.
I learned this trick from my mummy.
This is a no parking zone!
Diamond says, shake your body.
Well, at least you have a sunroof now.
What a crack up.
I've got to say though, this unbelievably boring 3 minutes is absolutely made by 2 characters. This guy who says, "Run for your life!" in the most forced way possible by running into position, standing in a pose, getting his arms out ready, and proclaiming it to the clouds, begging for another movie company to hire him. And this guy who gets a mega wedgie, but strangely enjoys it. Anyway, that was Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso, our trio of ghosts that live in the Applegate mansion that Tim is trying to tear down. And where did they come from? Never explained, don't get your hopes up. But hey, it is Casper's story, so I'm hanging on to that. And now Chris gets bullied. The end. Nothing to say, it's just bullies being bullies. But for a change, Chris actually stands up to them instead of letting them walk all over him. It's nice to see in a movie like this, honestly.
Shut up, geek, or I'll pulverize you. Pulverize? Wow, Brock, a 3-syllable word. Why on earth did Principal Ray behold your back a grave?
Oh, run your face under a cold tap because you just got burned. Now Tim has lost his demolition team and Chris goes to try and find the ghost that caused the haunt. Oh, but that's after another load of terrible fucking jokes.
They didn't even stand a ghost of a chance.
Lighten up, huh? I mean, go turn on the lights, just like the U.S. Scare Force.
And I wish I could say more about this scene, but this is where the chemistry takes a complete nosedive. There's nothing more to say other than the jokes aren't funny, Chris acts like a sarcastic asshole for the whole part, the ghosts all speak like they're on opposite sides of the room while on the phone to other people, and this animation is just incredible with how bad and ugly it is. The ghosts don't look part of the mise-en-scène whatsoever, they're just plastered on like one of my animated pictures. It's worth mentioning as well that these ghosts also have short-term memory.
Hey, it's that Snoop again. Who is you?
And again, the scene just ends as we now return to where the ghost train was going, to a ghost training facility where you can gain a haunting license. And here we meet Snivel, an ugly son of a bitch voiced by Pauly Shore.
You, the rookies, will be learning the A-B-C's of the ghost life.
Oh, no, 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 no. No! And And he's the assistant in this movie to Kibosh, the head of the facility and another bad guy, much like the bullies to Chris and even Chris's dad to the whole town. This is getting stupidly confusing. And it turns out that Casper was supposed to go to this school all along, but was thrown off. Not only leading Kibosh to get angry and do what everyone has wanted to do since Biodome and throw Pauly Shore off a building, but also raises the point that contradicts the original movie, where Casper said he never moved on from being a ghost because he was looking after his lonely dad. So how could he be doing that if he woke up on this fucking train in the first place, not even knowing he was a ghost? Plot holes. Be careful. If you fall down them, you get stuck. It's also very sad to hear James Earl Jones's voice coming out of Kibosh. He must have had a hefty heating bill from the previous winter to think this script was good enough for his godly voice.
When I find those slackers, I'll tie a sheep shank on their bedsheet butts.
Especially considering our main running gag for the movie. Kibosh can't remember the main character's name.
Little snot noses named Carter.
Because that's funny. I'm also calling any lame Star Wars joke at some point. I can sense it coming. Now we have Mayor Rodney Dangerfield. I know he has a name, but fucking hell, all he does is spout one-liners, so he's Mayor Rodney Dangerfield. And after some more of this...
Oh, this reminds me. I gotta see my dentist.
Not funny. He brings forward the next plot element.
Now you get that beat-up piece of lumber down by tomorrow or you're finished.
Now everybody remember this. It's important. Now we have those same bullies again. Being bullies. And they accidentally slime... And Chris's teacher, Miss Fistograph, saves him. Now what does she do? Punish the asshole kids despite saying,
I know that Brock and his pals have been picking on you for some time.
Or anything remotely reasonable? No, she blames Chris for not standing up for himself. What? Not only has Chris been standing up to these dicks, but that's your great advice for your students? There you go, kids. If you ever get bullied, grow a pair. And it also turns out that Fistograph was the head of the protest outside the mansion earlier. That's very important because now we know she's a conventionally attractive character and main element to the story in a feud with another main character of the opposite sex, so they're gonna bang at the end of the thing anyway because bad writing. And it's really obvious from the get-go because conveniently enough, Tim is on the TV talking about the mansion and getting Fistograph all worked up.
Those are historical landmarks.
But before she immediately says these things, she also says,
Wow. TV cameras aren't usually so flattering.
What? Where did that come from? Well, now I know you're gonna get together. Also, Steve Guttenberg isn't flattering. What planet are you on, lady? Well, not Earth, because not only does she blatantly assault her students' parents right in front of them...
Creep. That weasel!
Oh, come on, miss, I'm right here. Don't hurt my daddy.
But also because she cares a little bit too much about this damned house.
Well, Buster, I'm gonna have another rally, see? You haven't heard the last of Sheila Fistograph!
Oh my god, Casper. I forgot he was in this Casper movie. And the movie also forgot that he was a ghost. What's this shit? He should have vaped.
Let me guess. You feel like no one's on your side, no one really cares about you, and no one really likes you. I feel like that every day. Hey, we've got a lot in common. I'm Chris, Casper.
Hey, you're just as lame as I am. Let's be buds. So Chris takes Casper to the canyon and tries to teach him some ghostly tricks.
Let your ghostly instincts guide you, young spookwalker.
Yep, I called it. And the ghostly trio then arrive and decide to use Casper for their own selfish deeds by teaching him how to haunt, which would make Kibosh stop hunting for them after they escaped him, apparently? How? I don't know. It's very well explained though, don't worry about it.
Whoa, wait till Kibosh hears about this. Major brownie points for the Sniveler.
Snivel, I will dismiss you. So Casper learns how to go invisible and then he takes a shit on the rug. I mean, that's just inhospitable. And then they try teaching him how to fly.
What's first, guys?
Flying!
But I only know how to hover.
That happened earlier. Now we get introduced to the weirdest character in the entire movie, Sergeant Bill Case, played by the legend that is Michael McKean, which is weird since he was in Short Circuit 2, yet Guttenberg was in Short Circuit 1, and now they both work together on Better Call Saul. Okay, that last part wasn't entirely true, but still, he's such a weird character in this. He's a one-man demolition company that is completely off his tits on something. I'm not sure, honestly. One thing's for sure, though, he makes the most entertaining scenes whenever he's on screen. This is a guy having fun.
In your face!
What was that?
Just a little extermination job. Occupant has a gopher problem. Correction, had.
Yeah, not quite as fun as learning how to phase through walls. Ugh.
I am going through the wall!
That also happened earlier. Did they write this film backwards or something? Oh look, the bully girl is now being suddenly nice to Chris. Why? No need to worry, because it looks like Tim missed the parents' evening he totally ignored earlier. Chris is understandably pissed off about that. Then the film remembers it's about ghosts and gives Casper the spotlight again.
I'm doing the best I can.
Jesus! What was that? What? How? What? But oh dear, Casper isn't quite getting the hang of this ghosting stuff, so he gets kicked out by Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso. But of course, only after there's another sudden character change.
Look, little guy, we know deep down inside you're really gruesome and horrible, but we're just not seeing it. Get a life!
Now here's some more emotional trauma between Chris and his dad after he missed the meeting the night before. Now my main problem with this relationship in the movie starts to surface. We're supposed to feel sorry for Chris for being neglected by his dad, and yes, to an extent, Tim isn't the best dad out there. He literally forgets everything, and of course isn't physically there that much for Chris at all, and in some scenes he even makes promises but bails on them. Yeah, that's shit. But the movie really gets confused with what it tries to say. Remember that scene from earlier?
Now you get that beat up piece of lumber down by tomorrow or you're finished.
Yeah, that's kind of important, because up until this point, Tim is a single dad trying to keep food and shelter for his son by threat of losing his job forever. That's why he's never around for Chris, yet no one ever communicates this to everyone, and Chris just acts like a spoiled bitch about the whole thing because he's literally only looking at one side of the coin. His side. The side of, "You're never there for me." I can see the message they're making here, but it's conveyed so poorly, and it only gets worse as the film continues, being extremely unfair by painting Tim as this horrible father by initially stating that demolishing the mansion is wrong just because his son likes it, despite the fact that if he doesn't, he'll have no job to provide for him. So far, the entire message the film tries to teach is that parents should sacrifice everything they've ever built in their lives just because their kids ask them to, which is not realistic. There needs to be balance, especially if the only source of income coming in to, you know, keep your family alive is on the line every day. Even here, Tim misses out on the parent evening. Yes, I admit, that's shit, but then this happens.
Why don't you have your dad come for a private conference tomorrow at 4?
To which Chris tells Tim later,
I've kind of had to set up another meeting for today. You know, a parent-teacher one at 4.
4? But I have...
And then we're supposed to feel sorry for this kid? I felt sympathy earlier, but you can't just do that because you think it makes it right. And Fistagraph knows this. She's an adult. You can't just spring plans on a dad that you know is bogged down with work just because he forgot something and then make him feel bad for being busy at the time that you fucking arranged without telling him in the first place. It's wrong. And I'm not even halfway through this damn thing yet. So do you know what that means, people? Yes, this film is too much for me to tackle in one video, so please stay tuned until next Sunday for part 2. Where Casper possesses the soul of Paulie Shore to leave planet Earth and never return again.
Snivel, I will dismiss you.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry to do this, I haven't done it before, but this video was too big to tackle in one go, so when part 2 is done, it shall be linked at the end of this video, so please stay tuned for that. But first, since it's still the month of terror, are you feeling spooky? Well, how about going into the description to the Pixel Empire and picking up this limited edition Dead Space print? And you can get this and many other designs on the site from movies, TV shows, and games for 15% off of anything that you want if you use the coupon code CADDY in big capital letters. That's my treat to you for watching this video today. Thank you so much. Also, they ship internationally, and these bundles of limited edition designs are on a half price off sale right now, so go and go and go. Subscribe. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for watching this video, my first one about a movie. I didn't realize it would be this strenuous, so that's why it's in 2 parts. Hopefully you're enjoying it for my first attempt, and part 2 will be linked on the left of the screen right now, so click on it when it's done. It's not done yet, but when it is, it will be linked here, so just click on it right now. Go in the description to see social networks and my games grabber collection, where you can see what equipment I use for videos and what games I'm buying and playing. And of course, if it's your birthday today watching this video, happy frickin' birthday to you, and please remember to stay beautiful. But we're not talking about a game today because...
we don't like games.
No, shit. Not because it's the month of terror. And not because... oh, shit. Fucking... No! Stop, please.
No.